What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. This is part three of the video. It's two videos that I have already put out on these subjects. Now, let me go forward, and we're talking about the business model of what's going on, not just boxing, but just in general. Boxing, entertainment. I'm breaking these things down, and even though I do it, I'll probably wind up having to do it again, sometime later because people, they forget, man. They see things, and a lot of people are just naive, man. They don't understand. Look, they have a YouTube channel. A guy called himself Dean the Great, little short guy, and he's always like boxing out in the parks and stuff like that. And they're boxing guys that may go in the gym and train. Then sometimes it's just guys, just random guys that think they can beat them and whatever. Okay. What's happening is this. Along with these changes, a lot of it the reasoning behind it. Look, Kimbo Slice used to go out and do street fighting. No gloves, bare knuckles. He got popular for that. People seem to forget that. The difference with Kimbo Slice and Jake Paul and Logan Paul is Kimbo was a beast. And he was a street fighter. He was doing this strictly for the bread. Okay? This was his hustle. Kimbo Slice had heart. People seem to forget Kimbo Slice wound up going to Bellator. Wound up going to the UFC. Wound up doing some professional boxing. Okay? Kimbo Slice built his brand through YouTube. That's where he got known from. But he actually got, he had some hand skills, not boxing skills, not an MMA fighter, but he had some hand skills. And the things he learned, he got a late start. Kimbo was still real green. So no, you don't put him in there with the best guys because he'd have got killed, man. He'd have got destroyed. Okay, but where did his popularity come from? YouTube. Soulja Boy, okay, who became a recording artist. Where did his popularity come from? YouTube. Okay, rappers back in the day, they didn't have social media. It wasn't getting popular from something like that. You just have to have talent. You have to be around the right people. You have to get on that road. You have to start doing shows. They was doing block parties. People was out here battle rapping and doing whatever on small stages. I mean, they would battling in parks, gas station parking lots, wherever they could just in trying to get on, trying to get signed, right? Okay. They didn't have this. So if you heard about auditions and stuff like that, you had to keep your ear to the street to know about these things. Everything now is different, man. A guy coming to you saying, yo, so what you rap? Let me hear something. Right? You sing whatever, let me hear something. And then, okay, you got any music recorded or whatever, right? And then it's, all right, then they shop you around and, okay, they try to see what they can do to push you, right? Nowadays, they're like, yo, okay, you rap, let me hear something. Before they hear anything, damn, this motherfucker got 500,000 fucking subscribers on his Instagram. Oh, shit, okay. He got 100,000 on his YouTube. Yo, we could work with this. They ain't even hear nothing yet. They don't even care. They're looking at your following that you already have. So now whereas YouTube was a thing of, I don't like to say normal people because everybody's normal people to me. Ain't no fucking normal. If you're not normal, you're weird, okay? Being a celebrity, you still a normal fucking person. So I don't like to use the term. Put it like this, non-celebrities, this was your platform to connect with other non-celebrities or celebrities, whatever you was trying to do through your YouTube channel. This is what this was. So people will look at you like, man, these motherfuckers, Instagram models think they popular. Motherfucker, you an Instagram model. Motherfucker, you a YouTube channel. That's what it was before. Now you seeing like, damn, this is actually a thing now. Where you got, look, where are these boxing networks? Where you getting replays from? Right? What are they doing? Here's the thing, you order the pay-per-view, then all of a sudden, the fight that you just ordered 2 days later, it's on fucking YouTube for free, right? Okay. WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, all these things. What is YouTube for? It's a platform to get more eyes to your product. So it's become a powerful tool. Remember Vine video? Remember the little 5 second, was it 5 second clips, 10, whatever it was, and little clips? I guess that died down because of TikTok and I guess because of Snapchat, then TikTok, stuff like that. So I guess Vine died. But at the end of the day, my point is, these platforms are very helpful. I bet you got more people that sit and watch videos on YouTube than they do just regular TV. Remember how you used to sit there and if you didn't have cable, you had channel 2, channel 5, channel 7, channel 9, 11, then you had 13, then you had all the odd channels up, 47, 41, Telemundo and all that shit, right? Okay. Nowadays, you got smart TVs. Your TVs come with packages where you can sit and watch stuff like Tubi TV, like all these movies, like, oh shit, like it's different. Everything is different, man. But what do? They give you the service for free. But guess what? If you want the premium package where you don't want no commercials, pay a small fee, no commercials. You can watch the movie straight through. At some point, we're not going to be buying Blu-rays and DVDs anymore. Everything changes. This is what you're seeing. So now when you're looking at a guy, like I asked the question before, why is it a guy like Logan and Jake Paul have more followers than fighters? So basically, let me just make something clear. Logan and Jake Paul could get a fucking fight with Keith Thurman or Errol Spence or somebody faster than Terrence Crawford could. Facts. Look at who Logan Paul's getting ready to fight right now. And like I said, Conor McGregor was talking and was like, yeah, I mean, he's open. Hell yeah, he's open to it. Somebody gonna come and say, hey man, look, 35 million. Give me 35 million. I go fuck Jake and Logan Paul up the same night. Bull, straight up. The same fucking night. Who you think gonna turn that money down? So this is what I'm saying. Instead of sitting back getting salty about what's going on, just understand this is the changes that's happened. People keep talking about these fighters are messing up boxing. No, they're not. They're not. It's these governing bodies, these sanctioning bodies, okay? The shot callers, these are the ones who's messing up boxing, if anybody. It's not the fighters. See, because the fighters don't make the rules. You may have certain advantages, because of who you are. But the fighters don't make the rules. Right now, and this is the crazy part, right? For you to be able to go outside of boxing, an actual boxer, and make more money than current champions, what does that tell you about the sport of boxing? And why do you think that people always have something negative to say about these events? Why? Because they're not making that money. Ever since Mike Tyson started talking about this Triller app and talking about the Legends League, now he did this thing with Roy, and I just didn't see that being any different from what actually happened. But if you have guys like Antonio Tarver, Shannon Briggs, Klitschko, retired guys that's way past their primes coming on there to fight each other, that's cool. Okay? But when you have these guys who right now are fighting guys like Manny Pacquiao, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not into this Manny Pacquiao Errol Spence fight. I'm just not. I'm not going to shoot it down. Spence, you go out there and make your bread, do your thing. Pacquiao, you go out there and make your bread, do your thing. But I would much rather see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. I'd rather see Errol Spence versus Ugas. Now, because Pacquiao still has something left in the tank and he feel like he has something to prove, hey, okay. But me personally, I'm really just not into this fight. If you notice, I haven't even been talking about it. I'm just not into it. See, these guys are looking for someone to pass the torch. Now, Errol Spence is in the position of this. If he loses to Pacquiao, is just going to prove. Well, him beating Thurman already. I already told you. I never saw Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. I never saw them on the same level, or Errol Spence. I never seen them guys on the same level as Mayweather or Pacquiao. The thing with Errol Spence is his grit, man. He was breaking guys down, man. Even guys that was able to compete with him boxing wise, but even if he just started breaking them down, and it's like, see, that's something Joe Frazier type shit. That's the type of thing that it wins fights for you, man. But Errol Spence, I don't want to see these guys fighting Pacquiao, trying to still call out Floyd, wanting to fight these, for what? Now, if he wins the fight, they're going to say Pacquiao was washed up. If Pacquiao was in his prime, he'd have beat Spence, which doesn't matter. It doesn't make a fucking difference because we'll never know. And who really cares? It doesn't make a difference, right? If he loses, then it's just like, hey, man, it's another feather in the cap for Manny Pacquiao. But here's the thing. Is it really? Because half of y'all is saying Errol Spence is not a good fighter. He's good in this generation, but he ain't shit. He ain't fighting nobody. So don't shoot Errol Spence down and say he ain't shit. But then if Pacquiao beats him, yo, he beat Errol Spence. Well, what's so shocking? And I'm talking for all of the people that say he's not shit. Now, to not like his antics and call him out for ducking, I get that. But Errol Spence, and you don't have to like Errol Spence or anybody. I'm just saying. You can't sit here and say, don't be a hypocrite and shoot him down and say he can't fight. And then if Pacquiao beat him, then you want to just to praise Pacquiao further. No, if he's a shit fighter, then Pacquiao should beat him. You understand what I'm saying? He should beat him if he's a shit fighter. You can't go from being a shit fighter to, oh shit, he beat him. Like, no, man. Okay, well, he was supposed to beat him. At the end of the day, man, it's like, we're watching things change all the time, man. Nothing stays the same. We're always going to have change. Unfortunately, in boxing, what seems to stay the same is that once guys are hungry until they get to a certain level. Once they get to that level, you don't see the fights happening the way you want. I get it. A lot of other people don't get it, whether we like it or not. You know what happened? I'm explaining what happens is these guys are hungry. And when they want to come up, they calling anybody out. I want this guy, this guy, this guy. Nobody want to fight them. When they either see or what they think they see as a weakness in your armor, they want to fight you, or when they know you're going to be their biggest payday. Now it's like, okay. Now, let me tell you the conversations that starts happening. And this is what people overlook too. The injuries that happen in fighters that we don't know about. A lot of times guys are training, they get hurt. They don't want their opponent to know that they was injured. So they don't tell you that they were injured. They just, something happens, or they might say, but they don't tell you what. But then all of a sudden, okay, you're 22, you're 23, you're fighting. Now we're talking wear and tear through all these years. Now all of a sudden you get to where you want. You're in your 30s. Now all of a sudden it's harder for you to get up to get for these fights physically. You still got that heart number, but it's like physically. Your body starts to, man, you're starting to feel pain. You're slowing down. You're realizing you lost some pep in your step. You're just like, damn, Even though you can still go in the ring and people don't see it. They don't understand what you got to go through, all the therapy and chiropractic and all this shit. Now, all of a sudden, now you sit down and your team, y'all talking about an exit strategy. And you like, man, I don't know how much longer I can do this. But right now, man, I want to secure, my finances to where I don't have to come back. And all of a sudden now you're doing this, you got pain in your hands and stuff that didn't bother you before. Now all of a sudden, your team is sitting there looking at the best possible fights for you with the less risk. This is fucking boxing, people. Okay? Stop acting like Manny Pacquiao for nothing but killers his whole career. He got some meatballs on his resume. Sean Porter got some meatballs on his resume. Floyd Mayweather got some meatballs on his resume. Muhammad Ali got some meatballs on his resume. Sugar Ray Leonard, Ray Robinson, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, every one of them, Evander Holyfield, every fighter has some meatballs on their resume. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, all of them. They have meatballs on their resume. Okay? The longer you fight, there's going to be times when you take fights that you don't even want to have to take. But guess what? That's what's available to you. Whether it's just to keep you active or whether it's just the best fight available for you at that time. But now you get a certain age, then they start, now it's like, okay, so you didn't fight the number 1 guy, but you fought the number 5 guy. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to choose from the top 10 how you want to do it. People start saying, oh, he's not fighting this guy's not fighting that guy. Look at what Canelo is doing. Okay, Smith was a respectable name. Saunders is a top guy, respectable name. You got Charlo out there. You know, you got what's my man, the one everybody else is ducking to, the WBO 160-pound champion, Andre, you know, Demetrius Andre. You know, you still got Caleb Plant out there. You got Benavidez, right? Now, as long as you're fighting the top guys, there's no actual particular order that you're supposed to fight them in, but the people want to see who they feel is the very best. They want to see those fights first. And you can't please everybody. And I'm not saying that those fights have to happen in a particular order. Now, if you're trying to get undisputed, it's going to be more of an order because you got to fight the champions. But what I'm saying is, when you look at what Canelo was doing, that meatball that he fought before Saunders was a mandatory. That's a fight that, you know, that fight should have never happened, but it did. But the point is, he's still putting names on his resume. They're respectable names. And if he's beating champions, then whether you like him or not is not the point. The point is he's fighting and he's winning. Okay? At some point, even let's say he get undisputed. Let's say he wins it all. Then he just let it go and go to another weight class. Let's just say if that happens. The accomplishment is always going to be there. There's always going to be another challenger. Canelo hasn't, let's say, like, who's undisputed right now? Teofimo Lopez is undisputed. And what's his name? Josh Taylor just became undisputed. You see what Anthony Joshua is going through? Okay, when you start going through that type of stuff, where the fights you want, you can't get, and then all of a sudden you have situations where you got mandatories that nobody cares about that mandatory, then what happens after that then? You got to think, what happens? You got to fight somebody to keep active, or you're just going to sit back and have your career on hold or drop a title, you know, that you work hard for, because why? I can't get the fights that I want, but this is what's available. Listen, man, there's going to be things that's going to happen in your career. Let's be real, man. Manny Pacquiao was getting criticism because he wasn't looking the same before the Keith Thurman fight. He fought a couple of fights and he just didn't look good. And, you know, it was one of those things where people was disappointed because he lost to Floyd, and they started feeling like, a lot of people started turning on Pacquiao like he let him down because he was supposed to win. The difference with Canelo and Pacquiao is because Canelo is younger. It's a lot younger, so he still had years to grow. And people was thinking maybe potential rematch somewhere down the line or whatever. Look, Rocky Marciano, he retired at 32 years old. I never heard anybody say Rocky Marciano retired too soon. I heard people say Rocky Marciano was smart in retiring when he did because he was still had his health. And then, too, you never know what a fighter feels. I've seen fighters on camera in front of people. Yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I've been backstage with them and seen them, man, I've seen them throw up. I've seen the nerves get to them. They got to take shits. They're not as confident as you think they are. They're nervous because they about to go in there and could possibly die in that ring. Might end up broken ribs, broken jaw. They don't know. And they're not as confident as you think they are. And I used to see a lot of shit happening. And I'm like, man, like, I don't understand why people put these acts on, man. Just be you. Like, I've never been a big talker, man. I've always been about that action. If you want to talk about what you're going to do to me and all that, go ahead, get it out. I'll wait. Right. You're only going to make it worse for yourself. Because I'm going to remember everything you said. And my game plan going to be so smooth. I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to beat your ass. And when I do, right, you're the one going to look stupid. Because you're doing all this promising. Now, one thing you're not going to do, you're not going to touch me. See that shit that they did to Floyd, untying his shoe and taking his hat and all that? Floyd is being a professional. I mean, he went after Jake Paul if he took his hat, but when that motherfucker, if he would have touched my shoe, I would have kicked him right in his fucking face, and the fight would have broke out right there. And believe me, you wouldn't have been able to, believe me, it took a lot of people to hold me the fuck back. Believe that. It wouldn't have been no him touching my shoe and I'm going to ignore it. And it's petty shit. And I'm not saying, oh, he was wrong for handling it the way he did. I'm just saying I couldn't took that shit. I remember a fight where these two guys were sitting down being interviewed by this lady, and this guy walked over and poured water on the guy's head and throwing stuff. And I'm like, man, and what made it worse is when they fought, he beat the guy's ass. Like, damn, he embarrassed you, didn't beat you. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, you got to get something out the deal, man. See, that kind of shit ain't gonna happen to Aries, man. Like, whatever you think you gonna try to do, nah, bro, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. That's when you want to do street shit. You want to be unprofessional. You want to do everything other than wait till you get in the ring. I ain't got time for that. I'm gonna crack your face open. It's not going. I'm not for the games and the bullshit. And when I see these kind of antics, it's just like, okay, think about this. You have YouTubers calling out professional fighters. But you got professional fighters who can't reach 1 million subscribers. But then you got YouTubers that got 5.4 million subscribers. And they're more known than you are in the sport that you actually compete in for a living. So what does that tell you? It's a different day and time, yo. It's just a different day and time. I remember, I forget my man's name. Remember when the most I've seen somebody, the closest I've seen to somebody not calling a fighter out but trying to chump a fighter, I forgot, was it Sly Stone? It was Sly Stone. Remember the interview when Muhammad Ali was sitting there next to Sly Stone, and Ali was talking about, speaking up for black rights and talking about how, the way black people are mistreated in America. Remember when he was talking? And remember Ali, Sly Stone was kind of getting at Ali in the beginning. And remember Ali was talking to her. Remember Sly Stone was like, get your hand out of my face. That's the most I've ever heard, like back in the day, like a non-fighter, like trying to talk tough to a fighter. Nowadays, you got YouTubers, man, people who ain't never even jumped a rope before. They think that they can actually fight. So when I said channels like this guy, Dean the Great, you got this guy call himself Mighty Mouse. They do like street boxing. These guys are starting leagues through YouTube. They're starting businesses through YouTube. So social media is a huge thing now. But what I'm saying is, see, people forget. They talk about Kimbo Slice, they forget what got him popular, YouTube. I remember 50 Cent was performing somewhere and something went wrong. I think they was telling them they was out of time or something, and 50 Cent was like, we don't need just a radio station. We got YouTube. And I remember people laughing at 50 Cent. Like, this motherfucker that went from being a top selling artist to a YouTube video rapper. Look now though. Look at what, not just YouTube, social media, period. Look at what it is. But YouTube is huge, man. So now when you got guys, now this is my point too. When you got guys like a Blue Blood, right? Boxing Ego, Dante's Boxing Nation, all these guys, LDBC guys, people who are hated by most of the other YouTube community, as long as they got a platform, they got a voice. So as much as people could hate hearing them talking and what they got, guess what? Until their subscribers are like, man, you talking rubbish. Guess what? They're gonna always have a voice. They will. Who just interviewed Deontay Wilder? 7 8 Sports. Okay, he chose to do that. He didn't choose. He didn't choose to talk to Counterpunch Boxing. Right? He didn't choose to talk to sporting icons. You know, he didn't choose to talk to Showbiz the adult. He didn't choose to talk to Champ Side. Right? He didn't choose to talk to any of them. He's talking to who? People that pretty much cater to him. So any fighter that watch YouTube and that realize, oh shit, I got people got platforms where they, oh, okay. How many subscribers you get? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do an interview with him. This is what happens. I've seen certain channels interview certain personalities that are in the boxing community and their views are low. So what does that tell you? YouTube has become a sophisticated thing. Anytime something becomes a machine, becomes a like you can actually make because you can actually make money off of YouTube. I do this shit as a hobby, man. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I know what goes on, and I'm seeing things, and it's just like, wow, it's big. But we've come into an age, man, where this is what's happening right now. You got, I mean, look, like I said, you got guys challenging Conor McGregor. You got guys challenging Tyron Woodley. You got guys challenging Floyd Mayweather. I mean, people thought it was crazy when James Toney fought, Randy Couture. What I thought was crazy is because James Toney didn't prepare himself properly for that, and he would have needed more time to go in there and even have any success. Because unless he knocked Randy out, and James Toney at that point was washed up as a boxer, he had some bullshit belt that he had that he was supposed to defend. I don't even know if he ever defended it, but Toney was washed up. But he went in and he did what he did, got embarrassed, got a check, and that was that. Now look, though. Now look. You got a guy like, and nobody, and the thing was, you see the difference, you didn't hear MMA guys bashing Randy Couture for challenging a boxer to a MMA match. You see what I'm saying? But you get people bashing boxers for challenging MMA guys to a boxing match. You see what's happening. So now when you got like again, Jake Paul calling out Tyron Woodley, they're supposed to be fighting, right? And you got this guy, talking about Logan Paul after Floyd, he wants to fight Conor McGregor. Look, man, again, these guys, think about this. How many fighters in boxing or MMA is making $35 million in one night? Think about this. Logan Paul and Jake Paul are about to make millions of dollars for fighting pro fighters. They're going to make better money than current champions for fighting. These dudes, at least, now, like I said, they're not targeting the guys that's active, that's on top of their game right now. But bottom line is, they're in there about to get paid. If this wasn't a money move, now mind you, they contacted Floyd. Floyd didn't contact them. They contacted Floyd. They contacted Tyron Woodley. But you think that if this was just for bullshit money, that Floyd would waste his time in jumping in? No. How much did he make for fighting? Remember I forget his name, the Japanese guy that Floyd fought. And I think Floyd said he made like $9 million for that. Straight up. We don't know how much he made afterwards. Now, I don't care. I'm not glorifying the money. I'm just saying, look at my point. It was an exhibition. This is an exhibition. It went from $9 million to $35 million. Floyd was making $32 million to fight before he fought Pacquiao. Now he's getting $35 million to fight a YouTuber. Wouldn't you fight him? You wouldn't fight him? I'd fight anybody. Well, not anybody. I wouldn't fight people I love and care about, but you know what I mean. If I don't care, I'll beat this man, please. And I can fight for real. So I wouldn't be jumping there taking no die. No, I'm going there to hurt some shit. I'm saying, 35 million, and y'all gonna sit up here and, oh man, he tainting his leg. No, he ain't tainting shit. He's 50 and fucking old, first of all. The worst thing that could happen is he fucking lose the shit. then I can see people going, oh shit, he lost to a fucking YouTuber. But again, man, listen, y'all, it's just a different day and time, man. And if we can't find enjoyment in what we're doing, it's not that serious. Either you watch or you don't watch. But this is the kind of stuff that's happening, and expect more of this stuff to go on. Anyway, I just wanted to do something a little different with this series. It's 3 parts. It's the last one. And look, y'all, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.